Hi, I'm Jennifer,
And I'm Tim Owens, and we're the Owens Group.
and welcome to the Psychology of Everyday Success.
So this is actually part two that we do as a video version. We're actually going to we just finished doing part one that we do on the radio. And by the way, if you are not listening to our radio broadcast, you're missing a treat. It's on Urban Radio Tulsa, and it airs on Saturdays at 2 p.m. Central Time and at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Yes, and so in any case, we just talked about uh, how to successfully enhance the quality of your life. And so, just to give a brief recap of what we talked a little bit about, because we want to go into way more detail about some of the ways to do that than we were able to do on the radio. So the first thing is we talked about, well, why even try to enhance the quality of your life? Why would that be important to discuss? And I think one of the things we came up with, feel free to jump in, Jen, if you want, but one of the things I think we came up with is the fact that we kind of walk through our lives on a daily basis. We just, we rush here, we rush there, we got to do this, we have to do that, and we grind, we push, we shove, we over complicate our lives, we overextend ourselves, we overwhelm ourselves with the doing of living, and ultimately we don't get the opportunity to sit back really and enjoy it. The whole
Mhm.
point of doing all that stuff is so that we can actually enjoy our lives. Yes, so enhancing the quality of life is about really figuring out, how do I really ultimately sit back and enjoy the life that I have. We tend to think that we're taught to think that, you know what, we work, 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 and we'll enjoy it later. Mm, but later isn't necessarily promised. Yes.
Yeah, that's not quality.
And that's not quality, right? That's just kind of, so some of the things we want to do, we want to encourage. And here's the other piece about this that we didn't share, is that when we get into that kind of just push, push, push lifestyle, ultimately it messes with it gives us a problem with our health, with our physical health, our mental health, our relationships suffer. Things don't go well for us too often. Yeah, we might get a bigger house or a nicer car or a better job or make more money, but ultimately, does it really? Are we? Do we really have enjoyment of our lives?
hmm So I'm gonna just start with the attitude of gratitude because I think that's one of the first things.
Well, hold on.
Um,
Can we talk about the quality of life indicators real quick? Can we just recap
oh,
that? I'm
yeah,
sorry. I'm sorry. I probably so
we
real
said
quick.
hold up.
Yeah, I'm sorry, real quick. By the way, guys, we make mistakes. Can we just share that with you? This is not perfect. We are not perfect, and we're not even trying to be. So in any case, yeah, just wanted to say real quickly about quality of life indicators, right? So love, joy, peace, and patience are the quality of life indicators we talked about. If you don't have enough love in your life, right? People loving you unconditionally, right? And being there for you, no matter what's going on, right? People who are ride or die. You have folks like that in your life, people you can trust with your life, right? If you don't have that, then you might want to check the quality of your life. If you don't have joy, right? And I don't mean just joy when things are going well. I mean joy that when things are difficult, when things are tough, uh,
Mhm.
that's when we really need joy, right? If you don't have the capacity to choose joy in that space, and you are always down and depressed when things are bad, or up and excited when things are good, but not level, right? Then it's likely that you want to pay attention to the quality of
I
your life.
would say joyful people in your life too.
Ah,
That matters
wow.
because that
Yeah.
people who encourage you and give you confidence and
Yes.
people who are your cheerleaders and
Mm.
are on your side, those are
Woo.
your tribe. Those people are very important as well.
Absolutely, because joy is contagious, and in the same way that peace is contagious, right?
hmm
So do I have peace in my life, right?
hmm
Or do I just sit and zone out in front of the television all the time and really try to get lost in somebody else's life who's not even actually real, right? Is that what I'm doing? Or do I have peace in my life? Peace that I love to say passeth all understanding, right, one of a scriptural reference. So even all hell's breaking loose, right? My life is tore up from the floor up. I can still have peace, right? Because
Mhm.
and peace is a spiritual condition, right? It speaks to the condition of my spirit,
And your heart.
and my heart. Exactly. And again, it is contagious. Getting
Mhm.
around people who have peace can sometimes help you to be at peace. Getting connected to the external environment, right, Jen? Can can
Mhm.
can cause peace. I know you love to go for those long nature walks and
Yeah.
things of that nature. Absolutely, I love it too.
I call them contemplative walks. I like to,
Content.
yeah, to think and pray at the same time, or
Yeah.
I just like to focus on how sensory, it's a sensory kind of rest,
Mm.
because I'm walking and the wind is on my face or the sun is on my face, and that feels a certain way, and I really be mindful of how that feels. And it's always encouraging.
Absolutely. Which kind of leads us to the last quality of life indicator we wanted to talk about was patience, right? And patience
Hmm.
is really about being present.
Hmm.
Can I be present in my life? So
Hmm.
I work with people with substance use issues, right? And often what happens is that the reason they are using the substance is because they don't want to be present in their life,
Hmm.
right? And so I need to alter the state of my consciousness so that I don't have to be here anymore. Even
Yeah.
though I'm here, I don't have to feel like I'm here. So being patient, can I have be patient and present in my life? That actually is a quality of life indicator. So if I can't, there might be some challenges.
Yeah, being present, I think, also helps you to have a whole different kind of meaningfulness in your
Mhm.
relationships with others
Yes,
and yourself.
and yourself. Very good, very good. So can we move to solutions?
Yeah.
How do
So
we?
yeah, attitude of gratitude.
Okay.
Um, that's the first one that we want to expound upon in terms
Mm,
of what do you do to improve the quality of your life.
okay.
And I would say an attitude of gratitude is important because I've been through a period in my life where I would literally, for about 6 months, I think I did it, where I would just write down three things that I'm grateful for. And
Mm,
I always had to come up with different things. And even though it was a challenge, I could still find something.
mhm,
I kid you not, when I went back and I looked at that journal of things to be thankful for, something about it shifted in terms of my thankfulness, my ability to be able to notice what's really happening and going on in my life, where growth is happening, where success is happening.
mm,
And I think it just gave me a different orientation towards most things. I mean, because you could easily just be distracted or a complainer or just notice everything that's wrong. But
mhm,
when you shift it and you begin to notice things that are really good and you're grateful for or that you appreciate, or even if you tell someone you appreciate them,
mm.
you can have a whole different kind of quality to your life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So cool. Attitude of gratitude. And what's interesting is that there have been studies done, medical studies that the research has been says that uh, from a neuroscience perspective, your brain literally changes
Okay.
when you start choosing to be grateful,
I
right?
believe that.
Do that practice that Jen talks. And one of the things we do in our marriage actually is when one of us is down, right, the other one will ask, "So what are you grateful for these days?" And it just shifts the whole room, shifts the whole environment. Yeah, good stuff.
And
Thank
sometimes you don't really want to say, but
you. But when you do, though, right,
yeah,
it
it
begins to
does change
move,
things.
change the way you think about things. So the other piece is similar to that is see the glass is half full, right?
Hmm.
Be a half full person as opposed to glass is half empty. And I don't people talk about, well, I'm a realist. Well, but what's true is we make our own reality. We create our reality, right? So if your glass is half full, guess what? It is half. I mean, I'm sorry. If it's half empty, guess what?
Half
It's going to
empty.
remain half empty. But if it's half
Hmm.
full, right? What I focus on is what tends to multiply and manifest in my life. So if I
Hmm.
focus on the fullness of the glass, right, then I get more fullness. If I focus on the emptiness, I get
Hmm.
more emptiness. Yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Hmm.
so glass half full versus half empty. Be a glass half full person, and that'll change the quality of your life. It'll improve and enhance the quality of your life.
And the next one is just self-care. I
Oh,
think a lot of people think that self-care has to do with like getting your nails done or,
in your haircut.
making sure you take a nice bath and you relax. And those are elements of self-care. But
Sure.
there's what's also called self-nurturing activities that you can do
Wow.
that are self-care. Like, for instance, for me, that might be just dabbling in photography. I love photography. I don't get a chance to do it as often. But it's a hobby and an interest that helps me develop meaningfulness in my life. I've bought like a high-tech camera and I've worked with it like mostly all day. I just really get lost in it, and not just getting lost in that, but also the editing and the development and everything else. But it's a whole hobby for me that really helps me to get lost and go somewhere else so that I'm recognizing, wow, I'm taking care of that emotional part of my life, like choosing not to think very much,
Mhm.
just be. Just kind of absorb, and just choose to, develop a part of myself that might not normally get addressed or developed. So it's just kind of good to pull away and do those kind of things sometimes.
Yeah.
Notice your hobbies.
Good stuff. That's very good. Yeah. I feel that
Hmm.
way sometimes about playing guitar and
Yeah,
singing, especially. Yeah.
get
So yeah.
lost.
So yeah. So that's
Ooh.
self-care. What was the next one we wanted to
Faith versus fear, I believe.
faith versus
Yeah.
fear? Oh, okay. So yeah. So here's the thing. Uh if I have a faith mentality, now watch this. Faith, I'm not talking about faith necessarily from a religious perspective. I'm talking about faith that says everything's going to work out okay. Fear says things are going to be horrible. It's not going to work out. This is the end, right? It's like Chicken Little, right? The sky is falling, the
Falling.
sky is falling. I must run and tell the king, right? That's a fear mentality, and we are as human beings geared toward fear. There's a spot in your brain called the amygdala, and that its whole thing is to drive fear. If every time you are afraid, is because your amygdala is activated, and what's happened is, and the amygdala causes the fight, flight, or freeze response in us, which is important if there is, in point of fact, something important enough to be afraid of, right? But what's
Mm.
true is often we are afraid of things that haven't even come to fruition yet. We're just fearful of things that's going to go horribly, but here's what's true. When I choose to ignore the fear and choose faith, now fear and faith are two sides of the same coin. Faith is simply believing, you know what, this is going to work out. Things are going to go well for me. And I just choose to believe that. As an act of my will, I choose to believe that. And as I do that, if I walk through the world in that way on a regular basis, ultimately what happens is it increases the quality of my life. I don't find myself being anxious and overwhelmed and fearful and trying to figure out how I'm going to make it all happen. I'm able actually not just to survive, but to thrive
Hmm.
when I choose a faith mentality over a fear mentality.
And I'm going to combine two of these next ones, quality time with yourself, but also getting away. My husband sometimes doesn't like when I get away by myself, but but I think it's very important for you to get away, even as a couple, even as in marriage, and just kind of take a break, put a park in it, and just go, just escape. I'm a more spontaneous person. Tim is a planner, and either way, is really good. But it really is good, however you choose to do it, to be able to take some time to travel, get away, whether it's for a day trip or for a weekend or for a week, right?
Before an
Um,
hour.
or for an hour.
You know, whatever you got,
Nah,
whatever
hour's too
works for you.
short.
Well, but I'm saying,
It's too
if
short.
you got kids and you can't, all you can get is an hour.
That's true,
You know,
but take the kids with you.
no, don't take the
Pack
kids
them
with you.
up.
Leave them with somebody else. Get
No, but what
away.
if you can't?
Leave them with their grandmama.
You can take them and let them run in the woods or in the pasture.
Leave kids at home. You go get away. Go do your thing.
Uh,
But anyway,
no, quality time for yourself
quality.
is really
That's it.
important. Being able to kind of notice when you need it, when you need a breather,
Yeah.
when it's time to just kind of like pay that babysitter and go out and just do you, or get your hair done, right?
Yes,
And
for sure.
just go and get away. Everybody needs a little quality time. So making sure that you have that so that you can think about what you're thinking about and you can hear what your head is saying, right? Because sometimes if you're always got noise going on or there's TV's always going, you can't really hear yourself even. So
Mm.
it's very important to have that. Tim, what about quality time with others?
Quality time with others. Oh,
Hmm.
yeah. Yeah, so there should be, you should have a tribe, right? You need a team. In life we say, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with a team, go
Hmm.
with a group, right? And it's important because life is really a team sport. So
Hmm.
find some people who you can hang around, who you can connect with, right? And come together and build and have quality time with them. People you
Yes.
enjoy hanging out with. Now, obviously not people who are going to get you in trouble, right?
Hmm.
Or gonna get you to do things that are not in your best interest. But people who are safe emotionally and
Definitely safe.
people who you can trust.
All
Uh,
right.
time with. Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us this evening for our extended version
Yes.
of quality indicators and quality lifestyle.
Yeah.
We appreciate your being here and we wish you a good evening.
Absolutely.